You've probably felt it before, even if you never said it out loud. That quiet question sitting in the back of your mind while your cat walks past you like you don't exist, while she curls up just out of reach, while she looks at you with those unreadable eyes and gives you nothing you can clearly understand. No wagging tail, no excited jumping, no obvious, "I missed you." And somewhere deep down, a thought forms, does she actually love me, or am I just the one who fills the bowl? It's a strange kind of doubt, isn't it? Because you live together, you share space, routines, silence, but her love doesn't look like what you expected. It doesn't come loudly. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't try to prove itself. And because of that, it's easy to miss entirely. But here's the part no one really explains to you. She does love you. In fact, she's been showing you for a long time. You just weren't taught how to see it. Her language is quieter, subtle, almost invisible unless you know where to look. And once you do, once you start noticing it, you can't unsee it. The small things begin to feel bigger. The ordinary moments start to carry meaning. And suddenly, a cat that once felt distant starts to feel deeply, unmistakably close. Take something as simple as this. The moment she jumps onto the couch beside you late at night. You're distracted, maybe scrolling through your phone, maybe lost in your own thoughts. She finds her spot, settles in, and then turns her back to you. Completely. No eye contact. No acknowledgement. Just her spine facing you as she closes her eyes. It feels like rejection at first. Like she chose to be near you but not with you. Like you're just background noise in her world. But that's not what's happening at all. In her world, turning her back like that isn't casual. It's not careless. It's one of the most vulnerable things she can do. Every instinct she has tells her to stay alert, to keep potential threats in sight, to protect the most exposed part of her body. That awareness is built into her, no matter how comfortable her life looks from the outside. And yet, she turns away from you anyway. Not halfway. Not cautiously. Fully. Eyes closed. Guard down. Because to her, in that moment, there is no threat. There's just you. Without making a sound, without asking for anything, she's saying something incredibly simple and incredibly powerful. Nothing bad can happen to me while you're here. That isn't indifference. That's trust at its highest level. The kind of trust that doesn't need to prove itself, doesn't need to perform, doesn't need to be noticed. It just exists, quietly, completely. And if you've ever misunderstood that moment, if you've ever thought she was ignoring you, you're not alone. Most people do. We're wired to recognize loud affection, obvious affection. But this is something different. Something softer. Something deeper. And once you start seeing it, you begin to realize how often she's been speaking to you like this. Not with noise. Not with gestures you instantly understand. But with small, deliberate actions that carry meaning far beyond what they seem. Like the way she somehow always ends up right in your path. You stand up, heading toward the kitchen, and there she is, stretched across the floor like she owns it. You step over her, careful not to trip, and somehow, a second later, she's there again. Slightly repositioned. Still in your way. Still impossible to ignore. At first, it feels like coincidence. Maybe even a little annoying. Like she has no awareness of what you're trying to do. But if you pay closer attention, it keeps happening. Not just once. Not randomly. But consistently. Specifically with you. She doesn't do it to everyone. Not to the guests who come and go. Not to the strangers who pass through your space. She lets them move freely, unnoticed, uninterested. But she stops. Every time. Because what looks like interruption is actually intention. She's creating a moment. Pause. A tiny break in whatever you were about to do. Not to block you, but to reach you. It's her way of saying, before you go, before you disappear into whatever comes next, notice me for just a second. And the thing is, you always do. Maybe without thinking. You say her name. You look down. You shift your step. Maybe your hand reaches out automatically, brushing her back as you pass. A small, almost unconscious response. But to her, that moment matters. That's all she wanted. Not food. Not a big display. Just a brief connection. A confirmation that you're still there, and that she still matters to you in the middle of your busy, distracted world. And when you start to see it that way, when you realize she chose you for that moment, it changes how it feels. She's not in your way. She's reaching for you, in the only way she knows how. And this is just the beginning. And just when you start to understand her quiet ways, she does something that feels completely different. Something louder. More dramatic. Almost intentional. She runs to the couch. Stops. Looks straight at you. Not a passing glance, real eye contact. The kind that makes you pause for a second. And then, without breaking that gaze, she starts scratching. Slow, deliberate, almost theatrical. Each movement exaggerated, stretched out like she wants you to notice every second of it. And the whole time, she's aware of you watching. It's easy to feel frustrated in that moment. Like she's testing you. Like she knows exactly what she's doing and chose chaos anyway. Like she picked your favorite piece of furniture just to make a point. But not the point you think. Because to her, this isn't destruction. It's communication. She's not trying to ruin something you love. She's trying to include you in something she loves. When she scratches like that, especially right in front of you, she's doing more than just stretching or sharpening her claws. She's leaving something behind. Something you can't see but she can still recognize later. A quiet mark that says, "This is mine." And here's where it shifts. When she does it while looking at you, she's not just claiming the couch. She's claiming the moment. She's making sure you're part of it. In her mind, this space isn't just a place. It's your shared world. And instead of pushing you out of it, she's pulling you in. Marking it in a way that connects both of you to the same invisible thread. That eye contact, that's the giveaway. She wants you to witness it. She wants you to know. Not in words, not in anything obvious, but in her own quiet language, she's saying, "You belong here too." And once you start to see it that way, even the things that used to annoy you begin to feel different. Still imperfect, still messy, but meaningful in a way they weren't before. And then there's something even quieter. Something so subtle, you might not even realize it's happening until you look back on it later. It starts with her simply being there. You walk into another room, not thinking much of it, just going about your day. A few minutes pass. Then you notice her. Not doing anything special. Not asking for attention. Just sitting somewhere nearby. Watching. You move again, maybe to another part of the house, and after a while, there she is again. A different spot, same quiet presence. No announcement. No demand. Just there. At first, it feels like coincidence. Like she just happens to end up in the same places as you. But the pattern keeps repeating. Over and over again, across different days, different moods, different moments. And slowly something starts to click. She's not just wandering. She's choosing. Out of every place she could be, every comfortable corner, every quiet hiding spot, she keeps ending up where you are. Not always right next to you. Not always touching you. Sometimes across the room, sometimes just within sight. But always close enough. And that distance matters. Because she's not following you out of need. She's not doing it because she's hungry or bored or confused. She's doing it because your presence changes something for her. It settles her. You become this quiet center in her world. Something steady. Something familiar. Something she orbits without thinking about it too much. The same way you might sit near a window without realizing why it feels comforting. And the most powerful part? She asks for nothing in return. No attention required. No constant interaction. Just proximity. Just the quiet reassurance of being in the same space as you, while life continues around both of you. It's such a soft kind of love that it almost disappears if you're not looking for it. But once you notice it, it becomes impossible to ignore. Because you start to see the pattern everywhere. The way she repositions herself when you move. The way she settles only after you've settled. The way she seems to exist just slightly closer to you than she needs to be, every single time. And suddenly all those ordinary moments, the ones you never thought twice about, begin to carry weight. She's not just sharing your home. She's choosing your presence, again and again, without ever needing to say it out loud. And just when you think you're starting to understand her, she does something that completely catches you off guard. Something that feels strange. Maybe even uncomfortable. Something most people get completely wrong the first time it happens. Because one day, without warning, she brings you something. It happens without warning. You don't hear her coming the way you usually do. No soft steps in the hallway. No familiar sound of her jumping onto furniture. Just a quiet presence appearing at your feet, and something in her mouth. A small dead mouse. A half-crushed insect. A leaf from outside. Sometimes something stranger. Something you didn't even know was missing. She drops it gently. Right in front of you. And then she looks up. Not away. Not distracted. Straight at you. Waiting. This is the moment most people get it wrong. The reaction is instant and human. A step back, a sharp, no, maybe even a disgusted sound. Sometimes the thing is picked up quickly and thrown away, almost like erasing it as fast as possible. And in that single reaction, something important is missed. Because to her this is not random. It's not mischief. It's not a joke. It's offering. In the wild world she still carries inside her, survival isn't individual. Shared. Mother cats bring food to their kittens not because they are incapable, but because they are learning. They are teaching. They are preparing them for a world that requires understanding, not just instinct. And when your cat brings something to you, she is stepping into that same role. She is not seeing you as someone above her. She is seeing you as someone she needs to take care of. Someone she trusts enough to include in her most instinct-driven behavior. In her mind, this is responsibility. This is care. This is contribution. And most of all, this is love. Not the kind that is spoken. Not the kind that is explained. But the kind that shows up in action, even when it doesn't look beautiful from the outside. She doesn't bring these things to strangers. She doesn't share them with people she doesn't care about. This behavior is reserved for the one she has accepted into her inner world. The one she considers hers. And when you reject it too quickly, when you pull away or make it feel unwanted, she doesn't understand gross or messy. She understands something much simpler. Rejection. That her gesture didn't land the way she intended. That what she thought was meaningful wasn't received. So what she really needed in that moment wasn't perfection. It wasn't even understanding every detail. It was acknowledgement. A calm presence. A soft voice. A moment where she feels seen instead of dismissed. Where the effort behind the gesture is recognized, even if the gesture itself doesn't stay. Because for her, the meaning was never in what she brought. It was in the fact that she brought it to you. And when you begin to respond differently, when you stop reacting to the object and start responding to the intention, something subtle shifts between you. Trust deepens. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But quietly in the background of everyday life. And there's one last thing she does. Something so small most people almost miss it entirely. It doesn't come with objects. It doesn't come with noise. It doesn't come with any clear signal at all. It comes in stillness. You've had a long day. Maybe you're tired in a way you can't fully explain. You sit down without thinking much about it. Just silence. Just space. Just a moment to breathe without expectation. And somewhere across the room, she notices. Nothing changes in the environment. No obvious cue. No call. No command. Just her getting up, slowly, and walking toward you. Not in a rush. Not with urgency. Almost like she's choosing the timing carefully, as if she understands that this moment is delicate in a way she can't explain, only sense. She comes closer. And she doesn't ask for anything. She just settles beside you. No demand for attention. No insistence on play. No expectation of anything in return. Just presence. As if she understood something about you without needing words. As if she recognized a shift in your world and decided, without hesitation, to be part of it. And that's when it becomes clear. All these small moments, the back turned in trust, the gentle interruptions, the dramatic scratches, the quiet following, the strange offerings, the silent presence. They were never separate behaviors. They were all the same thing. Different ways of saying one simple truth. I see you. I choose you. I'm here. Not loudly. Not obviously. But consistently, in every small detail of her world. And if you've ever wondered whether your cat really loves you, the answer was never hidden. It was just spoken in a language you had to learn how to hear.